Among the connived and flaunted sins of the man whose emergence as the governor of Rivers State could be likened to a date with destiny is what his detractors describe as attack and sometimes opposition to President Jonathan. This seeming joke has sold like loaf of bread among the undiscerning public.
Even within a family, between a husband and a wife, there are differences in opinion. The other will see it this way, the wife will see it that way. Even between children, brothers and sisters, they see things, they don't always see, they have differences in opinion. And that differences in opinion does not amount to being disrespectful. Or at times when, the governor as chairman of the Governors Forum, when he puts out to the public the position of the Governors Forum, and that is the position of the 36 governors, not his personal position. And usually emphasizes, look, the 36 state governors met and this is our position. And if it is different from the view that the presidency is holding, Mr. President holds it, does that amount to him disrespecting the president? No. He's just stating this is the position of the 36 governors. It might not be his personal opinion, but as the chairman of the forum, he doesn't have any choice. If the governors say, look, this is our position, that's how we present it to Mr. President and the public. So, but it's all part of the whole dirty game of let's go after Governor Amechi. And for these detractors, one of the ways to go after Governor Amechi is make it look as if the Governor Amechi is fighting Mr. President or is being disrespectful to Mr. President.
In the field of politics, driven by desperate ambition, the simplest of issues are diced in the most complicated manner, making comprehension a bit more complex. Posters showing up in some parts of the federal capital and other cities suggesting that Governor Amechi is vying for the vice presidential slot ahead of the 2015 elections elicited so much reaction, while those whose purpose it served branded the governor enemy of his own people. Governor Amechi has consistently denied knowledge of the posters.
I repeat for the purpose of emphasis, Governor Amechi does not even know where those posters came from. We saw the posters like every other Nigerian on the streets, in the pages of newspapers. I think the first set was published in the pages of one of the newspapers. And we saw it like every other Nigerian. We do not know where those posters came from, who printed those posters. We don't know. The first time the posters appeared, we said, I remember there was a statement we issued and said, public, we do not know. We have no hand in these posters. We don't know where the posters came from. And I've never seen anywhere in the world where somebody is running for vice president. You don't vie to be a running mate. We don't know where the posters came from.
Those who are not too favorably disposed to the government in Rivers State still agree that the state has seen significant improvement in infrastructure. Those in whose eyes Governor Amechi and his administration may not have found much goodwill still cannot deny that the resources of the people more than ever before has discovered a pleasant way of touching millions of lives in the state. Against this, the hush-hush chant of financial recklessness against the state government came like an afterthought.
I think that was something that was contrived and was only mentioned last week by a faceless group. I do not think there's ever been any allegations of financial impropriety against this government. All the while, what you had heard was a situation where people had deliberately chosen to cast aspersions, and not about financial impropriety. They had remained, if you recall, and please follow your reports, you would hear them say, oh, the governor is arrogant, or the governor does not consult with us, meaning a tiny clique. They haven't accused the governor of not consulting with the generality of Rivers people. They have not accused the governor of not including or carrying along the generality, the populace, the true owners of democracy. What they have accused him of doing is saying, we are the elders of the party. And yet, when you talk about elders, it's not limited to a tiny group of one or two persons. So it hasn't been a situation that the governor, for instance, is not consulting with the traditional rulership in Rivers State. It is not that he's not speaking to a cross-section of professionals, or indeed all the others who make up the elders of the state. And I'm sure if you looked, you would have seen the Rivers Elders Forum communique. So, to my mind, really, you can tell when it's a red herring. And that was what the one publication that came out last week was. a red herring, which is why, quite frankly, we have chosen to ignore it.
No, but it's been the battle from the point that the governor came in as governor. Okay. I mean, his position was, look, I'm going to use the resources of the people, the people's money, to work for the people. That has been his position. And you had this set of people, or this group of people who believe that, look, these resources are supposed to be resources that we would use for ourselves, not for the people who have been in control of these resources over the years, and they feel, look, we should continue to control this resource. And it's been there over the years. It's just blowing up now, but it has always been taking charge of these people's resources, the people's money, and use it for ourselves, not for the people.
To the most unperturbed, indifferent observer, the crisis that is ruffling the feathers of the once peaceful and upwardly minded state is about the race to power and impunity.
Stop tolerating impunity, abuse of power, because this whole thing was designed. Whether you're looking at the grounding of River State aircraft in Ekiti, or you are looking at the NGF election, where 16 is greater than 19, and you come back here, you have a situation where 5 is now greater than 27. Very violent mathematics. Then you also you begin to see a situation where in a nation there is no Federal Republic of the Niger Delta or Federal Republic of River State, where governors, because I say this as a human rights activist, freedom of movement, freedom of association, freedom of assembly, and freedom of expression are key ingredients of any effective democracy. When a Nigerian is no longer free to move around this country, then you know that something very, very dangerous is about to happen. That is anarchy. That is not democracy. Governors wanted to come to River State. People blocked them. They wanted to make sure they didn't enter River State. That is a bad example. And it's that is uncivilized behavior as far as we are concerned.
Whoever is angling for 2015 is still like some 2 years away. So they should allow 2015 to come before you start. I don't know honestly. But I would advise they should allow governance to allow the governor to govern. 2015 is still like 2 years away. When 2015 comes, we'll cross the bridge.
I try very hard for us not to glorify what I've said. What sometimes I say is a storm occasioned by transition politics. And the thing that I first am pleased about is that our democracy has continued uninterrupted, and it will continue uninterrupted, hopefully, if we all do the right things and allow all of the institutions play out. But all over the world, transition time, like you know, is not exactly very smooth sailing. It's always, you know, a bit of politicking, agitation, because interests come out to play. It's more so when it's transition time for someone who is approaching the end of his tenure and cannot be re-elected. So you're going to find that all of the various political interests that hope to perhaps take over the political space on the departure of whoever it is will get into the fray, and there will be many hats in the ring, and therefore you're going to see these various contentions. Cast your mind back to 2007. Cast your mind back, 2006, 2007, you know,